Welcome back everyone to another live stream repair. We've got Robbie, Sam, and Kevin. Oh, hold on. We got Robbie, Kevin. We don't got no Sam. Sorry, Sam. Robbie, Kevin. 2 from Helga. And 1 from Steven. Let's see who we will pick on first. Robbie's got one with hardware blinking volume buttons issues, so we'll save that one. Kevin's got one with no power. Alright, I think we'll start with that one. Let's shoot him a link to watch and we'll dig in. HomePod. Let's get our cameras situated here because we are all out of whack right now. Let's see. Actually, the top one looks good. This one loves to slide around. There we go. This one looks great. Alright, we're ready to start. Yeah, certainly has no power. We're pulling about 4 or 5 watts from the wall, which tells me it is like many others with the dead diode on the amplifier. First up on this HomePods agenda, we're going to give it some new filters to keep the DC voltage under control and within spec. Since all ceramic capacitors naturally decay over time and lose their effectiveness at filtering DC voltage, on the HomePod amp that's particularly important. As they go bad, they let more DC voltage through, it gets amplified, and that causes issues that trigger death farts and roast your subwoofer speaker. So we want to give this one less reason to ever come back to us. Okay. Those are nice and centered, and they're not going anywhere. Let's take care of that dead Schottky diode. Any guesses on that date code? There you go. I know why that's being funny. We didn't add any flux. ditching that old foam subwoofer gasket, replacing it with a new rubber one.
I'm having trouble connecting. I'm having trouble.
Very nice. Alright. I've changed my mind. I want to look at Robbie's next. They bought a dongle from us. They tried to restore their HomePod. Didn't work. Determined it was some sort of hardware failure that's preventing it from working properly. Ooh, alright. They opted to return the dongle, and it looks like we got it back in one piece, so we can send that off to someone else. Alright. Let's go ahead and actually try the restore ourselves first. Make sure that we didn't like get a broken adapter or that it broke itself along the way. Grab our trusty rusty MacBook. Let's give it a go. Wow. It's not even poning. Yeah, this is exactly what Robbie saw too. They're not even able to pwn it. So this definitely, what kind of hardware issue could cause that? That I don't know. Do I have another logic board ready? I don't think I do. Nope, that one doesn't work. Doobity-doo, doobity-doo-doo. I know I've got a working logic board hanging out here somewhere. Okay, it looks like I'm not having any luck with logic boards right now. Maybe I can, maybe this one needs a restore, and we can use it. Let's see. This one's bad too. Damn it. I did not want to take a HomePod apart to get my hands on another logic board right now. I guess. Let's go ahead and try to reball a HomePod logic board really quick. I want to cover up those plastic connectors so we don't melt them. Get a piece over the CPU so we don't roast that. Right. Ah. There we go. I want to turn that heat down to 375. All right. Oh wow, there's a lot of crusty pads on there. Okay. That's pretty well cleaned. Why is this being so slow? because we're doing it on a big giant metal plate, huh? That's sucking all our heat away. Figures. Well, that looks fantastic. Oh, we need to clean that up really quick. Yes, all the plugs. Now we can drop this bad boy in. And assuming this was even the problem with this one, this is all I should need. All right. All right, all right. I'll let it cool off for a second. Yes. This one is restoring after reballing that NAND chip. It was not restoring beforehand. So once this finishes, we can use this logic board to fix up Robbie's HomePod. While that's restoring, I guess we can carefully set this to the side and let it do its thing while we get Robbie's HomePod ready to replace that logic board. Alright, I got that restoring off to the side. Let's get done to this, what needs to be done to make it all worthwhile. Looks like our restore is at 30%. It'll probably finish restoring before we do our maintenance to this HomePod. One of the maintenance items every HomePod gets now is a replacement subwoofer gasket. We've got new rubber ones that'll outlast the foam ones, and also gives us a slightly noticeable improvement in the tightness of the bass response. I was quite surprised when I got my hands on them and tried it myself. Alright, if we get up close, let's look at what we need to replace. Is the date code on our diode good or bad? It's bad, 48K. So that typically fails and causes no power. These are our DC filters. They remove unwanted DC voltage from the audio signal before it's amplified and sent to the subwoofer. They naturally go bad over time, as all ceramic caps do, so we preemptively replace these to prevent death farts and other bass issues. And then we'll get that diode, and then we can put this thing back together with that freshly reballed logic board. And of course, those aren't going anywhere at 375. Let's turn that up to 475. part filters are replaced. Let's get the death diode. Looks like the restore finished. Not even being able to gaster pwn the logic board is not one that I had seen before. For obvious. When they brought it up, I kind of expected it to be some kind of issue connecting to the HomePod until David said himself it seems like it's missing iBoot. How does that happen? Maybe it lost power during a software update and it was updating the iBoot partition. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure how to fix that if we can. Maybe pull the NAND chip off, dump the data, find where the iBoot partition is and replace it with another good dump from a good NAND. Because you can't just replace the entire contents of the NAND with a good working one without matching up the serial numbers between the NAND and the CPU. It's not that easy. This is finished restoring, so I'll plug that back in right side up and we'll let it initialize so it's ready to use. Oof, -2 health points off the MacBook. That's why I got a case on it. Very nice. Oh. Of course, Apple doesn't let you have your camera open while a HomePod setup prompt appears for whatever strange reason. So we'll turn our Wi-Fi and Bluetooth off on that side camera and bring that back. Hopefully. There we go. One new gasket for the subwoofer. Nice and sealed. Give me that logic board. Just got a text message from Jason. Don't know if you're watching right now. Hi, Jason. I'll text you back after the stream here. go. Ooh. What an adventure that was. We reproduced the same behavior Robbie had, being unable to pwn it. We went through a stack of brick logic boards to find one we felt like reballing. Successfully reballed and restored that logic board and used it to refurbish Robbie's bricked one and get that going again. With that, let's move on to Helga. They have 2 HomePods. Let's see if I can find them. It does not appear that their name is Helga. Or at least that's not the name they emailed me with. Let's see. Oh, it's Elena. Yes, of course, I knew that name sounded familiar. Yes, okay. They sent in 2 HomePods, 2 more HomePods. This isn't the first one they sent to us. Number 1, let's see what it's got. It looks like the usual symptoms for that dead diode. Let's get it apart and get it fixed. Ah! Oh, you know it. First up, some new filters. Alright. Filters are nice and square. Let's get that dead diode replaced. You guys want to see how many dead diodes I've collected over the years? That jar is, I'd say, almost half full now. And these are just all the ones that are dead. I've got a separate pile for the ones that we replaced that haven't died yet, that had the same date code. And of course, you know, a few months into our HomePod repair endeavors, once we realized at first we were replacing those diodes in every HomePod regardless of whether it failed or not, but we caught on to it only being a problem with a particular batch of these diodes. What is up? Welcome back, sellout. You missed some pretty intense repair earlier. We were working on Robbie's HomePod and decided to bust out a hardware bricked logic board and reball the NAND on that bad boy so we can use it to fix Robbie's HomePod, since it had some other mystery issue going on its logic board. Oh, it's a fantastic Friday if you ask me. I mean, like I said earlier, we got that HomePod logic board's NAND chip reballed without a problem, and for me that is a victory. That is a great Friday. The wife's out with the kid right now, so it's just us at home. She'll be back with some beer. My cat's feeling better? Oh, buddy. For the past month, she had been just dropping a ton of weight. She used to be a pretty thick cat, you know, like 10-ish, 11, maybe even pounds on some days. But the past month, she dropped a ton of weight. And I was obviously very concerned, but I couldn't find anyone. I couldn't find an appointment for anyone to see her for like another few weeks. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll take her to an animal urgent care. Same problem. We couldn't find anywhere even to walk in with her without a good chance of being told to go home and come back the next day. Eventually, after a few hours of calling around, I did find an animal hospital that took her in. Fantastic place. Beautiful, beautiful place. And they weighed her, and she was like just 5 pounds. Absolutely horrifyingly small and skinny. Skin and bones. Gosh, I seriously think if I hadn't been able to get her in it at like a day sooner, she probably would have just not made it. But they ran labs, did a whole bunch of blood work, of course. They couldn't find anything wrong with her. And I mean, on top of the weight loss, she had a bunch of diarrhea. She's vomiting all the time. So she can't keep any of the food that she eats in, and she's losing weight fast. So something is wrong. Something's going on. Maybe she's just sick, and whatever she's sick with doesn't show up on the tests. But in any case, they said, okay, what we're going to need to do to figure out what's going on, or at least do any further diagnosis, is have you come back another day for, like advanced imaging and what have you. And they were like, that's going to be like $2,500 to $3,000 more dollars. And I was like, hold on. I can't spend that kind of money on potentially still not figuring out what's going on here and not making it any better. What can we do? I've got this much budget. And to my surprise, they were like, okay, here's what we can do. They were not going to send that cat home without something. Thank goodness. But what they ended up doing was prescribing some medication for her. They gave her 3 things. They gave her a steroid to act as an anti-inflammatory, and hopefully the idea is that there's something inflamed going on in her gut, and the steroids will help calm that down. The second med they gave her was for the nausea And the third one they gave her was a probiotic for, I believe, the diarrhea. But it's been about a week since I've taken her, and she's put a few pounds on already. She hasn't thrown up at all. Her stools are still pretty loose, but that's to be expected until she gets better, but she seems to be recovering, thank goodness. I was getting really worried for that cat. And then I was born and raised by a family that is all into animals. My mom's got a farm with animals. My grandparents have a farmhouse with animals. My grandpa's a mobile vet, and for the longest time, he was the only vet on that entire side of the state. So basically everybody within like 100 plus mile radius knew the guy. One of the best guys you'll ever meet. Loves animals more than anyone you'll meet. Will do anything. Well, he'll do anything. He bends over backwards for people, and then they don't pay him for it, and he doesn't make a big deal out of it. Because, bottom line, help the animals. But anyways, my point, what I was getting at with all that was, my grandpa, I was consulting him the whole time. He's on the other side of the state, so I can't use him, but I can always give him a phone call and see what he thinks about what's going on. He said, don't spend thousands of dollars on a bunch of imaging and extra diagnostics. Get the medication, do the basic labs to make sure that there isn't anything obvious that we can't catch, and do supportive care. Do what you can do, but don't go spending thousands of dollars on all this extra stuff that's probably not going to find much more. And if it does, then it's going to be thousands of dollars more in work on the animal that may still not even fix the problem permanently and or impact their quality of life more than it would be to, do some basic medication and supportive care and try to help them through it. And so far, I've got 2 cats. This is the first time the other one's gotten sick. A year ago, the other kitty got sick. Similar story. Lost a bunch of weight, but it was, the similar stuff. Spend $1,000 to have someone come over and tell us that we need to spend a couple thousand more dollars. But in the meantime, here's some meds and tips for supportive care. Sure enough, the cat bounces right back with the meds and supportive care. If I had all the money in the world, I would throw all the money in the world at my problems. Like that. Like spending thousands of dollars every time I gotta take my cat to get looked at to figure out what's going on. But that's the world we live in. You've got pet insurance. That's pretty neat. But when you do the math, you end up spending more on the pet insurance every year as opposed to just saving the money and using it when you need it. And plus now you've got all that money saved up that's not locked into pet insurance. And the pet insurance only covers certain things up to a certain amount, no pre-existing conditions. You thought healthcare in America was expensive for you. Wait till your pet has a problem. you'd think, oh, smaller body, smaller money. No. It is the exact same healthcare professionals just looking at an animal, and it is just as expensive. What was really nice of that animal hospital was they not only did what they could within the budget I gave them, but they actually gave me a bit of a discount in order for all the work that they did on paper to, math out right. Because they can't just do a bunch of things for free, not say they did them so they can't charge me for it. Now they got to put it on paper, and they can give me a discount if they want. Really appreciate that. That was like a month's worth of HomePod repairs just gone. But I would fix HomePods for a year straight if it meant keeping that cat nice and happy and healthy. We've had those cats longer than our kids, so the running joke is, before we had our kid, the running joke has always been, we already have 2 kids, we don't want a third one, and that would always be in reference to our 2 cats. And then we had the kid. Well, I guess technically speaking, she's not our first kid. Now we've got 3 kids. Ha ha ha. But I will do what it takes to keep my family happy and healthy, be it my wife, my kid, or my cats. And then my cars. But, the living thing has come before the cars.
I'm having trouble
Elena's first one is all fixed up. Let's get this second one out of the way. You've been helping a tomcat. Ooh. We've got no power and the usual dead diode symptoms. Got to make sure that adhesive isn't covering the volume buttons. I just like to check it and make sure it's clear while I've got it in my hands. And I can hold it up through a light. You guys can't see it. Hold it up to the light to see and make sure that they're actually what's all this commotion going on outside? right. Halloween is one of, if not my wife's favorite holiday of the year. I like all the free candy, of course, and now that I have a kid, the free candy will perpetuate. I'm going to stick a HomePod on my porch with the top off so the subwoofer is exposed, and I'm going to fill the subwoofer with candy. And I'm going to make it throw the candy at people. Make it play some super spooky sound or something. And I'll have minis up in the corner playing spooky music. Oh, if I can get my hands on my own house, we would love to turn the front yard into like a haunted house kind of deal every year. if you're curious what I'm doing there, I'm not just having fun. I am exerting the woofer to listen for any problems in any of the gaskets, because once that subwoofer is screwed in, the whole HomePod is sealed. There's nothing else that does any kind of sealing off. So I'd rather catch an issue with something not sealing properly while I'm still this far away of finishing putting it back together, instead of putting it all the way back together and finding during testing that it's not sealing and I gotta tear it back apart. Okay, it is also kind of fun to poke the subwoofer. Been doing it since I was a kid. At least now it kind of serves a purpose. It would be ideal if we can finish our repair queue for the day before wife and kid get home. Then I can help them unload and get inside when they get home, and we all hang out and relax and have a good nice rest of our Friday together. No! But we've been at this for 2 hours now, so I think she's gonna beat me.
I'm having trouble.
Perfect. Very good. That leaves us with, yes, one last HomePod for the day. And if I'm not mistaken, oh no, I am mistaken. I was gonna say we'll be all caught up, but unfortunately for me, as soon as I got home, 2 more HomePods were delivered to the UPS store, to my mailbox, and I did not feel like going right back out as soon as I got home. So there will be a repair stream tomorrow. Yay! Everybody's working for the weekend. We have got the usual symptoms for a dead diode inside of Steven's HomePod. Let's see if we can't get this fixed before the wife pulls into the driveway. If she finds out I'm fixing more HomePods, she's gonna kill me. Out with that old crusty foam gasket. We replaced that with a brand new rubber one now. Since it's a solid rubber and not a porous foam, it does result in a noticeably improved and tighter bass response. And it'll last longer. Not that the foam needed to be replaced anytime soon, but now we don't gotta worry about it. foam parts are usually the first thing to go out in an actual like speaker component. Ooh, a hallmark sign of a crappy speaker is when they use foam for the surround on the speaker. There we go. That one got a little stuck in there. First up, some new filters. These are ceramic capacitors. They tend to go bad over time, as all ceramic capacitors naturally do. This leads to death farts and other base issues inside of the HomePod, so we like to stay ahead of that, not give these any reason to come back to us. That's the one thing I hate the most about HomePod repairs, is getting one back that I have already fixed, especially if it's something that we could have prevented. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. Figure you guys didn't want to hear it. Let's get this dead diode replaced. 46K dated, of course. one brand new subwoofer gasket. The wife texted me, she said she's on her way home. The race is on. Will we finish before she shows up? Yes, we beat my wife. See that? No wife car in driveway. We did it. Very nice, very nice. Show me those volume buttons. Alright. Folks, that's everything fixed up that we got our hands on. We still got a few more waiting at the UPS store for us to pick up and fix up. Of course, there are always more showing up in the mail pretty much every day. So stay tuned, subscribe if you want more live streams like this, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Goodbye.